Good evening. Give people a second here to get to their seats. Good evening, everyone. Appreciate you being here with us tonight. My name is Jason Osborne. I'm the Athletic Director of Miamisburg City Schools. On behalf of Miamisburg City Schools and the Hall of Fame Committee, welcome to tonight's 2025 Hall of Fame Induction Reception. Thanks to Tim Freeze, we're live streaming tonight's ceremony, so if you have someone at home that would like to tune in, you can find that link at miamisburgathletics.com. We would like to take this time to remember Hall of Famers that are no longer with us tonight, as we keep their families in our thoughts and prayers. Matt Engelke, Ron Holt, and Brad Myers. Please accept our apologies if we have missed someone. It is an honor to be here with some of the finest and most productive athletes in the history of Miamisburg schools. We appreciate you giving up your evening to be with us. Tonight, we will be adding 6 new members to the Hall of Fame. Connor Brown, Jeremy Randolph, Jeff Alcorn, Peggy and Amo Critzer, and Molly Skapik. I would like to do some introductions to start off here. The Hall of Fame Committee, if you guys would please stand when I say your name and remain standing till I do the group. Rex Gardecki, Brian Myers, Michael Black, Jason Shade, Ron Russo, Scott Masters, and Allison James. Let's give them a round of applause for all they do. If you're interested in information about the Hall of Fame, that can be found at miamisburgathletics.com. If you have questions in regards to the process, feel free to contact one of the members or the athletic office. Next up, we have Rex Gardecki coming up for a couple minutes. He's got a few words to say about the Miamisburg Schools Education Foundation. And I told him 2 minutes.
Good evening, everybody. Boys, some great looking faces here that, bring back a lot of memories. First of all, I would just like to thank the committee for the work that we do throughout the year. It's getting harder and harder, with me being the oldest one in this group, to start picking athletes, maybe from the 40s all the way up to the 2000s. But it's really a very rewarding thing, and the people that we have tonight have had the opportunity to coach a couple of them, and then you see other ones around here. It's just something that's really, really good, and I've been involved with some of the other of these, but we do it better than everybody, and I attribute that to Jason. As some of you know, I do the University of Dayton basketball games on radio, and you go back to some of the things you do, and I always joke that at the beginning of our segment, Larry Hanskin, who does the games with me, they'll say former Rex Gardecki, former Flyer, and Miamisburg hero, or Miamisburg pride. And I worried about that for a couple weeks, and I come home after a game at DC. We just lost a tough game on the road, chartering back, and the plane's having a problem getting taken care of. My wife's laying there in bed. She went, "Why are they calling you my Miamisburg hero?" And I didn't know what to say. So about 3 games later, we're flying back from a place, and I look at Larry Hanskin, and I says, "Larry, I don't understand why you say that." And he says, "You dumbass." Excuse me, Dr. Legend. "You dumbass. You're not a legend. It's just you feel so much pride in your community." And I really do when it comes to this. I look at our schools, our athletics, just everything about us. I think it makes us unique in the way that it should be. And the reason I'm up here is we've been involved with the Education Foundation for I have been involved for like 20 years. It's an organization that has got like 40 years. We have granted hundreds of thousands of dollars to a lot of students, and I'm sure there's some here tonight that could raise their hand and say, "We got money from the Education Foundation." It's something that we've done for the last 20 years. We don't really publicize it a lot. We have tried to get a little piece of literature out to people. It's a fully tax-exempt situation, 501c, So everything that we do is under the top of the board. So if you have a business, or if you have some extra income, we don't care if it's $1 or if it's $100,000. But it's something that I feel a lot to my heart doing this. We've got over $3 million in our organization right now. So it's every dime that we make goes out to the next individual. So if there's anybody interested in it, you can contact Dr. Blessing. I see she's here tonight, Stacy Moore, and it gives some of the board members on there. So anything, you have any questions about it, call them or call me, we'd be glad. But congratulations to all the people tonight.
Thank you, Rex. A few more introductions tonight from Miamisburg City Schools. If you guys would please stand until I name the whole group. Superintendent, Dr. Laura Blessing. Assistant Superintendent, Steve Holman. High School Principal, Michael Black. Assistant Athletic Director, Jason Shade. Athletic Secretary, Reba Pittman. And Reba is retiring at the end of May, so congratulations, Reba. And our newest member of the athletic department, another assistant athletic director who's kind of taking the place of the secretary, is Matt Muncie. Please stand. Also here with us from the Board of Education is Ann Neese and Vice President Chris Amsler. And then a few add-ons I had that just happened to be here because of their connection to the people going into the hall. Middle School Assistant Principal Eric Linsky and Jane Chance Principal Dale Geyer. Let's give them all a big round of applause. We appreciate everything you guys do. Head coach is here with us tonight. We appreciate you guys coming and showing your support. First up, we've got Johnny Wade with baseball. Please stand. Matt Muncie, football. Kelly Wilbur, competition cheer. Emma Savely, sideline cheer. Carissa Durr, cross country. Tim Freeze, boys basketball. John Good, gymnastics. Sean Sims, girls basketball. And Kelly Schock, girls soccer. Also with us, Steve Aylward, the band director. We appreciate you guys. Let's give them a good round. Our sports med team, and I think Cookie's in here. I think Laura's probably at the game here. But we have Laura Stafford, Kelsey Eddy, and Dave Cookson. We appreciate you guys. And the Viking Boosters Association, we have President Jennifer Skapik, Vice President Michelle Lieber, our Treasurer Michael Tauby. He's in running the clock at a basketball game. We appreciate you guys very much. They are the ones that actually sponsor the dinner, the Viking Boosters Association, which is catered by TJ Chumps, but we certainly appreciate you guys in making this night possible. If you guys are interested in becoming a booster member, there's the colorful sheet on your table has a QR code on it, and you can QR on that and become a member of our Viking Boosters Association. So thank you guys for everything you guys do. We appreciate it. And last but not least, from City Council, from the City of Miamisburg, we have Ryan Colvin. Thanks, Ryan. I would like to congratulate the inductees and their families on their accomplishments. I had the pleasure of watching every one of them, even Jeff, back when I was younger and in middle school. And then the class of 2014, the three of you that are going in tonight, it's a very special class and very, very impressive careers, and we've certainly relished that, and we're excited to share this moment with you. So first up, we're going to have, and usually I do this alphabetically, and I told them here tonight that, how I usually do it alphabetically. That's always a good thing for a teacher and a coach and an athletic director to do. You don't raise any questions there, but because we have a couple basketball coaches that have to go coach a game against the Wayne Warriors this evening, we're going to bring the basketball guys up first. So at this time, I would like to bring up our first inductee of the night, along with his presenter, Connor Brown, class of 2014. He is being inducted tonight as a participant in football and basketball. Connor will be presented by his basketball coach, Tim Freeze.
Thanks, Ozzy. Good evening. First, it's always great to come up and be in this room with all of the Hall of Famers. Just this community is incredible, and to get everybody in a room one night a year is it's special, and it's really special to add the people that are going in this year too. So it's just an exciting night. Just an exceptional group of people. A little background on me. This is my 18th year as a head basketball coach. I'm running a live stream. I coach a game in a few minutes. I'm going to induct Connor. I'm going to get out of here, so it's a busy night. But I'm really excited because, one, I've been around long enough to have two players tonight that are going into the Hall of Fame that I was lucky enough to be around for 4 years. And it's special to be able to be here and to be able to do this. To talk about Connor, Connor's a 3-year starter in basketball and finished his career as one of the top players in Miamisburg basketball history. We'll go over some of his achievements. He finished 4th all-time in career scoring with 1,064 points, making him one of only 7 players to score 1,000 points in their career. He finished 3rd all-time in career field goals with 413 made shots, 6th all-time in career free throws made, and he was a really good defensive player too. Blocked 47 shots his senior year, and he's ranked top 5 all-time in block shots. Connor's senior night, 2014, was one for the history books. He scored a career-high 39 points, shooting 15 for 22 from the field. Late in the game, Connor missed a free throw, and on the rebound he dunked it and shattered the backboard in the process. We ended up finishing the game in the auxiliary gym, and that win also clinched our first league championship in about a decade. So it was just a really fun night. As a basketball player, Connor earned numerous accolades. These are things that are voted on by the press or by coaches. He was GWAC South All-Conference as both a junior and a senior, and back then the GWAC was bigger. We had divisions, so he was in the South. But his senior year, he was named All-Conference first team, meaning out of all the GWAC schools, he was one of the top 5 players in the conference. That's an amazing accomplishment. He was voted 2nd team All-Southwest Ohio, and he was an honorable mention All-State his senior year. And then his senior year, he was also team captain alongside Jeremy Randolph, who we'll meet in just a minute. And he led the team to an 18-7 record and the GWAC South Championship. You know, his talents were also not limited to basketball. I'm the basketball coach, so obviously I'm talking about basketball. He was 2nd team All-League in football, and then he went on and played 4 years of college football at Ohio University. He was, but I think when I think about it, you know, stats is kind of what gets you noticed. And I just talked about all the stats. I mean, those are amazing numbers that you put up. And I think that you start talking about, oh, this guy could be in the Hall of Fame. But I think it's the intangibles that set you apart. And I mean all you Hall of Famers in here. It's what sets you guys apart. He wasn't just a great player. He was an exceptional leader. And he really took on the leadership role his senior year, being a captain, leading both vocally and by example. And the one moment that stands out that epitomizes Connor's character, it happened on senior night. You know, a game where everybody knew if he played well, he would score his 1,000 point at home. And what really made it special happened before the game even started. And as the team's leader, you kind of expected Connor to be on the floor, but we had 7 seniors. And Connor was the first person to step up and say, you got to let Zach Collins start. Now, Zach averaged 0.4 of a point. He played in 11 games that year. But these two battled every day in practice. And Connor said, look, he deserves it. Let him start. If I don't get enough minutes, I don't get the 1,000 points, I don't care. This is what we need to do. Now, we know what he did in the game, but it was before the game that made this guy a Hall of Famer. So congratulations, Connor. Welcome to the Hall of Fame.
and thanks is really all I have to give out tonight, because I'm so thankful for so much from my career here. First off, thank you to the community. The community of Miamisburg means so much to me. Always has meant a lot to me. It was never just a place, where I went to high school. Miamisburg is my home, right? And I came back and coached the freshman team the last 3 years just so I could try to give back to a town and a community that's given me so much. And that was reaffirmed every game I played in this gym and every game I played down at Harmon Field in front of a packed stadium. What that did for me and the team's morale is immeasurable. It really is. Then I'd also like to give a thank you to my family, specifically my parents. My dad coached me from second grade all the way until my freshman year on football. Adversely, he didn't know a lot about basketball. So my mom always coached me in basketball, showed me the ropes there. But as I got older, I was a little bit of a late bloomer to getting my driver's license. So, even throughout high school then, and Brett Myers made sure I was at everything, all the practices, all the games. Playing AAU really all around the country, all the way out to Vegas. Nashville, everywhere in between, helping me develop. They were there the whole time, every step of the way, and none of this would be possible without my family and my parents. So thank you to them. And then finally, the last thank you would be to my coaches and my teammates. My teammates mean so much to me. Really, anything I could have ever achieved or any award I could have ever earned means nothing compared to what my teammates mean to me. The reality is when I got to MHS, there was a stigma around the football and basketball programs at this school. And, that meant nothing to me and my friends. It was background noise. We knew what we were capable of. We had aspirations and we had goals. And those are goals that we largely achieved. Tim touched on taking, the basketball team conference champions for the first time in a decade. The football team going back to the playoffs for the first time in a decade. And, you bring up the backboard. Was breaking the backboard cool? Yeah, it was pretty cool. But it's not as cool as walking into the gym and seeing those numbers up on those banners. That's what's cool to me. That's what means everything to me. And then to know where those programs went after I left. The back-to-back titles for the basketball team. My brother's class in football being able to finally win the G-Walk. And that sustained success they were able to have when I left. Knowing I was a part of the group of the guys who really helped set that in motion is by far what I'm the most proud of and the first thing that comes to my mind when I think about my athletic career. So again, it's really an honor to stand up here and thank you to all of you.
Did he say cool? It wasn't very cool for an AD to be standing in the gym with glass all over the floor wondering what the heck you're going to do. That was a very memorable night for all of us, and it was interesting. I was a fairly young AD, and I don't know about young. I hadn't been in the business very long, and you don't get posed with that issue very often where you're standing there, you got a gym full of people, everybody wants to see the conference title game finish out. A few minutes left in the game and you got to figure out what you're going to do, and certainly that was very interesting, but certainly very memorable. Congratulations, Carl. And I don't think you ever paid me for the backboard. Tonight's second inductee, Jeremy Randolph, class of 2014. He is being inducted tonight as a participant in basketball and baseball. He will be presented by one of his high school basketball coaches, Chris Johnson. Come on up.
Good evening, everybody. Let me get started. He won't brag on himself, but there's no truer Miamisburg hero than Rex Gardecki, so. Congratulations to all of the inductees tonight. Connor, great job, buddy. Proud of you, boy. I have the honor to be able to induct Mr. Jeremy Randolph into the Hall of Fame. And this guy is one of the best to do it. And not only a stellar athletic career, he did it in the classroom, he was a leader on and off the court, he just was one of the best to do it. And he was the gritty point guard and gritty leader on that 2012-2013 league championship team and became one of the greatest point guards that this school has ever seen. And on top of that, he holds single season records for 3-point percentage and assist. He's the all-time leader in assist. Again, he helped as a senior. He was the co-MVP, as Coach Free said, along with Connor. He led us to an 18-7 record, and we were league champs that year. He also earned all GWAC South honors and was all Southwest Ohio honorable mention. He shot his senior year, he shot 44% from the 3-point line, hitting several big shots. One against Fairmont in the tournament, and then a couple of others at Springboro, to where I don't know, a lot of you know Mike Holweger, who was Springboro's coach at the time, who is now the girls' coach at Springboro. He was coaching Fenwick a couple of years ago, and this guy still gives him nightmares because he came in and we were like, such and such isn't playing tonight, and he said, I don't care as long as Jeremy Randolph's not playing. Because there were 2 shots, I think one sent us into overtime, one sent us into a second overtime. Either way, Mike Holweger still has nightmares about Jeremy Randolph, so anytime somebody from Springboro has nightmares about a Miamisburg player, that's always a good thing. In team sports, I think that there are 3 of the toughest positions that you could probably have. I would say quarterback's probably one of the toughest, being a point guard is probably the toughest, and being a pitcher is probably the toughest. Because you are the catalyst to everything, mentally and physically. So obviously we talked about the point guard side of things. Let's talk about the baseball side of things. So he excelled in all areas on the baseball diamond. He's a great pitcher, great at the plate, and also a great infielder. He's ranked 8th all-time in doubles. He's ranked 6th all-time in strikeouts, and he is ranked 10th in games pitched. In 2014, he was all GWAC, as well as being all GWAC South, and he was also all GWAC as a third baseman in 2013. He was MVBC All-Area Infielder in 2013 and All-Area Pitcher in 2014. There's not too many negative things to say about Jeremy, with the exception of him being a Duke fan. That's really the only thing that I have ever had any kind of differences with him on, and will continue to have those differences. But after high school, Jeremy earned a scholarship to play baseball at Wright State University, winning 3 Horizon League titles, as well as several NCAA appearances. After his success at Wright State, was able to finish his college career at Alabama. He was drafted in the 26th round by the St. Louis Cardinals. So again, as much as he was one of the greatest point guards in Miamisburg history, he also solidified himself as one of the baseball players in Miamisburg history. So during that 2012 and 2013 season, we put up a sign in the locker room that says, "Win today and walk together forever." And I think Connor hit it on the head. Because that's something that is a reminder of what we have to do every single day, not just in the games, but what we have to do every single day in practices together to be able to know that we're doing the right things, to have the chance to be able to put those numbers on the banner like Connor said. And that's something that is really important to us because those numbers never go away. And Tim hit it on the head. I think that it's cool, and that's the cool thing about being in Miamisburg, is that there are some of your numbers that are on those banners in that gym. And when you look around at the people in the room, there are people that inspired you, that allowed you then to be able to inspire others, to where, again, when you are part of the Miamisburg Hall of Fame, that certainly allows you to be able to walk together forever. So, on that note, it's my pleasure to be able to induct as the 2025 class for the Miamisburg High School Hall of Fame, Mr. Jeremy Randolph.
All right, here we go. I will not be winging it like Connor. Mumble for 10 minutes, probably the same 4 sentences over and over. So before I forget, I'd like to thank my wife, Anna, make sure she's called out first so I don't forget and get in trouble later. Always my sense of comfort and steadiness I need. I'm so thankful to have you in my corner. I'd like to thank Ozzy and the rest of the committee for allowing me to be included in this class. It's really a privilege to go with Jeff, Peggy, Ammo, especially Molly and Connor, having grown up with the two of them, playing recess with them all throughout and losing to both of them in basketball quite often. I've got to be at best the fifth best basketball player in this class, but I haven't seen Peggy take a jumper, so easily be sixth. I'm very lucky to have grown up here in Miamisburg. I've had the chance to be a Viking. The qualities that were instilled in me during my time at MHS gave me the ability and confidence to compete at a higher level. The things that I learned here from my peers and coaches were a huge part of my success as I graduated from here. There are countless coaches and teammates that made me look like a far better player than I ever was. I'd like to highlight some of those people who had the biggest impact on me. I'd like to acknowledge Tim Freeze, Chris Johnson, and Rick Skardecki. Some of the best life lessons and values were instilled in me while playing for them. Although none of them happened while Rex was yelling at me for being too slow. You saw a small part of that side of Rex earlier tonight. Our mantra, team above self, has always stuck with me. I always try to be the best teammate in the group and hold myself and others to a high standard for the betterment of the team. Although Connor can attest, sometimes it might have not have come out as pleasant as that. It always sounded good in my head. Tim Mitnery, Kevin Hartman, Terry Johnson, Steve Kurtz, Dan Moak, Jake Long were huge influences on my baseball career. Gave me some of my best memories here. There wasn't a day at the field that I didn't have fun, whether it was singing and BP to the music or just goofing around in the hack shack. Got us in trouble, but they usually let us off pretty easy. They allowed me to be myself and remind me not to take myself too seriously. I'd like to thank John Giles, Nate Chambers, and Austin McCoy for showing me how you can lead in different ways and still get your message across. I gained a lot of knowledge from the three of them and it helped me become a better leader. A lot of my desire to be a good teammate came from them. Miamisburg is a wonderful place. So many of my closest friends got to experience all this stuff with them here. Connor, Adam Giles, Brett Myers, Lance Brockman, Lane Brockman, Brad Soar, Josh Baker, Zach Mays, Kevin Teasdale, Hunter Stewart. Just it was so much fun coming to school every day, playing every sport, but all of them, we travel, not everybody plays all sports, but same 6 or 7 of us would go from sport to sport after the season ended, so I had a blast with each of you guys. I'd like to thank my siblings, Justin, Christopher, Jenna, and Lauren. Mom told me that I had to say that, so. But in all honesty, Justin and Rudy, I want to be just like you guys growing up. Thank you for never taking it easy on me and pushing me. Thank you for including me always. I know it's not easy having a much better athlete as your little brother. Jenna and Lou, thank you for always being my biggest cheerleaders and for wanting to fight anyone that ever fouled me. I appreciate you guys. Mom and Dad, thank you both so much for all your sacrifices. I know it wasn't always easy dragging each of us to different places so we could play every sport. Making sure that we had everything we needed and we're on time. Mom, I forgive you for the one junior dribbler game we missed in second grade. We could have went undefeated. It was our only loss of the year, but that's okay. Thank you for being my coaches, growing up and devoting your time to teach me, encourage me, push me to work hard and do hard things. For allowing me to grow and make mistakes, for instilling the love to compete in me at a young age. So much of who I am is because of you both. In closing, I hope that my time here won't be remembered for any shot I made or out I got, but the teammate and person I try to be. I'm so honored and humbled to be included in this class in the Miamisburg Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Great job, guys. Congratulations, Jeremy. Tonight's next inductee is Jeff Alcorn, class of 1985. He is being inducted tonight as a participant in football, basketball, and track and field. He will be presented by teammate and friend Brian Myers.
All right, good evening, everyone. I'd like to start like everybody else has in congratulating all of the new inductees in the Hall of Fame. What an impressive group of people you all are. Your credentials are amazing. Like we sat down and talked about you guys, it was impressive, to say the least. And so, congratulations to all of you. It's awesome to be here too in front of all of you, the amazing people that played here, and looking out through the crowd. And how many of you, that we looked at, there's a lot of people here as old as I am, and I'll talk about this in a second, but there's a lot of you here that I looked up to growing up that were just icons in the Miamisburg athletic situations. I mean, it was amazing watching football, basketball, baseball, everything. And so it's an honor for me to be up here doing this, presenting Jeff. So Jeff and I graduated together in 1985. And, you know, we were great friends all along. We were teammates on numerous sports. And, you know, we played, you know, youth programs back then were not like they are today. You'd have one select team here and there. You'd have kids from all over the area playing for, normally it was the American Legion Post 165. That was the most well-known, and I think they're still in existence. Those teams are still playing today. But back then, that's about all there was. There weren't, you know, traveling teams where there's, you know, right now in Miamisburg, there's probably, I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000 in Miamisburg alone. I mean, it's crazy. And so Jeff and I had the opportunity of playing together. He's not here tonight for baseball because he didn't play in high school, but he was an amazing baseball player. And it was really kind of, it bothered us a little bit when he didn't play in high school because he was so good. And I'll go into that a little bit more here in a minute. But we had a great time growing up together, playing a lot of sports together, and of course being in school together. So we were around each other a lot. Jeff was a 3-sport athlete in high school, earning 9 varsity letters, which is incredible. So he lettered 3 years in a row in 3 different sports. You know, there's not a ton of people that can say that. A lot of great athletes, but there's not a ton of people that can say that. Jeff was a 2-way starter in football all 3 years that he played. He was a wide receiver and a defensive back. And as a wide receiver, he was a nightmare for other teams to cover because he was fast, tall, and he could really jump. And so, you know, he gave us a huge advantage on the offensive side of the ball. And then defensively, at safety, again, he was tall, rangy, fast, and man, tough as nails. And so, like, tough. And, you know, he was one of those people that was like the prototypical safety at that time. So, you know, Jeff had it all working in his favor, and boy, we were happy to have him on our team. He was an intelligent player that played with a lot of passion, and you know, you combine the fact that he was tall and fast. He was just a heck of a football player all around, and so you know, that's all I can say about that. I'd like to say a lot more about it because I could talk about football stories with some of the situations that went on. Dave Brown was there. We had a bit of a melee in a game one time. It was interesting. But Jeff started every basketball game from his sophomore year through his senior year. I got to back up for a second. I'm sorry. Jeff was all MML. We were in the Mid-Miami League at that time. Jeff was all conference as a junior and a senior. Jeff started every varsity basketball game from his sophomore through his senior season. He's currently the 16th all-time leading scorer in Miamisburg history. At the time he graduated, he was 6th. So clearly he was an outstanding basketball player. He was a great scorer. You know, he could dunk a basketball. He could play great defense. But he was a tremendous shooter. At 16th, well, when he was 6th at the time, 755 total points he had scored. And 755 all-time points when he finished at that point in 85. Jeff also played, sorry, I was looking at something else. Greg Jennis is standing back there. Jeff played with Greg Jennis, who was our 9th all-time leading scorer. Okay? So we had the 16th all-time leading scorer and the 9th all-time leading scorer on the same team for 2 years. It was really fun to watch those guys play. Really fun. And so, you know, Jeff he also played before there was a 3-point line. So he would have scored a lot more points had there been a 3-point line back in the day because, he could really shoot. Jeff was one of those rare athletes, and we had talked about this, and he was one of those rare athletes that you could take somebody to either a football game or a basketball game, and if that person with you had no idea what football was about or what basketball was about, they could tell you, man, that guy's good. That number 86 out there on that football field, he's good. And they wouldn't have to know anything about the game. It was the same thing with basketball. That number 34 is really good. He was that good of an athlete, so it was very, very clear to everyone. You know, it was easy to see how good he really was. In track, I can tell a funny story about this one. In track and field, he earned 3 varsity letters as a junior high jump, 6'4", in the all-conference, or in the conference meet, earning all MML second team honors. But we used to, I don't know how many of you in here remember back in the day, we had 2 days, we always ate lunch in here. We had about 2 hours of time to ourselves in between practices. So we would always come in and go upstairs to the mats were always up there. The high jump mats were up there. We'd always go up there and sleep at lunch, lay around, goof around for a little while. And we'd go up there, and Jeff, going back to him jumping 6'4", we always had the linemen would go up there, and you know, linemen are not, they're not comfortable jumping, okay? They don't do it well. And so, you know, the high jump mats are probably 36, 38 inches tall. And I'm thinking, this story popped back to me, I'm thinking we used to have linemen that would go up there every single day and act like they were high jumpers jumping onto those mats. Most of the time, those guys would barely skim the top of the mat because that's all the higher they could jump, you know, 36 inches off the ground. And I'm thinking Jeff jumped over my head. I mean, what an impressive feat for somebody to do that. I know Tim King I think he holds our record, right? 6'7", is that right?
Not anymore. It's
Not anymore, was it broken? I did not know that. That's impressive. I can't imagine jumping 6'7". Anyways, Jeff went off to play basketball at Marietta College, where he started every game from his freshman year through his junior year. He was a captain of the team as a junior and was named All OAC. Jeff was not able to play as a senior due to a serious back injury. Along with the 3 sports that Jeff played, like I talked about earlier, that, you know, he wasn't talked about here because he didn't play in high school, but Jeff was a tremendous baseball player, as I said. So a 4-sport guy all along. My family's had a great relationship with Jeff ever since we were small. Boy, did he have some good times on Opal Avenue. We talked about it. My mom and dad's house. Wow. And my mom, you know, who's 82 years old, still communicates with Jeff regularly on Facebook. My brother's the one that started this nomination for him. Brad passed away back in July, and before that, Brad had started this whole process with Jeff. And, you know, he's such a deserving guy. I mean, what an athlete. And, you know, I'm forever grateful to him as a friend and so happy for him to be inducted tonight. So, with that, I present Jeff Alcorn.
Brian said a lot, so I'm not going to say a lot, but I'm going to thank a lot of people. And probably the biggest thing is, I really only lived in Miamisburg for about 10 years of my life. The rest of the time I've been to Georgia or other places. And the group over here at the table, my family, I always say Miamisburg's home, and it always will be. And, you know, because of all the people I was able to meet, people that meant a lot to me, that mentored me, and I could have went a lot of different directions, and, you know, and I didn't because of the people that I met, because of the city of Miamisburg. Connor kind of stole my thunder a little bit on that part, but, you know, so I am going to do that. So, you know, my wife, Lisa, my daughter Amberly, my fiance Chad, my friends and family that came over from Huber Heights, friends that came up from Georgia. One of my really good friends, Jimmy Gamble, who came up from Florida, and you know, Jimmy's family really meant a lot to me. You know, as a kid, they took me everywhere. You know, gave me the chance to play travel baseball, gave me a chance to play pee-wee football. Try to live my life without regrets, probably one of the biggest regrets I have is really never being able to thank Jim and Judy Gamble before they passed. So for Jimmy to show up here really means a lot to me. It really does. So, and then, you know, I was talking earlier, and I wrote down a piece of paper. Jeremy way more prepared with his phone and all that stuff, so I got a little piece of paper. Between Connor and Jeremy, but when I walked in, I saw, you know, Mr. Weiss, who was my PE teacher in 5th grade, and his name's on the list, because he was the first guy that said, hey, you're good at a lot of things. Play anything, because it makes you better at everything. So I want to thank him for that. It was, you know, it was great for the 2 years that I had him. You know, growing up, met a lot of different people. I'm going to get back to Brian and his family here in a minute. But, you know, Dale Tovine as a 9th grade coach was incredible. And then I got the best coach probably I ever had in my life, which was, and Greg Jensen in the back will know, Jeff Deal. Jeff became our basketball coach when I was a junior. And probably one of the most interesting people you want to meet. For any of you guys that know him or knew him, the only person I've ever met in my life that could have a full conversation with you, 12-word sentence, every sentence would be a cuss word, but you still knew what he meant. He was incredible. He was unique and taught me a lot. Football coach that I had were the same. Great people. Mr. Parkhurst, I saw Mr. Sizemore here earlier. Appreciate everything they did. But, you know, high school, it's a high school honor, and it really is. But that was a part of it. And, you know, kind of the start of it that made all this worthwhile was, like I said, the Gales I met. You know, the Myers family. And I'm starting to get a little emotional, which I'm an emotional person. But, you know, the Myers family meant the world to me. You know, Donnie, Bev, Brad, Brian, everything that they did for me growing up gave me the opportunity to do a lot of different things. I just truly appreciate it. And, you know, some lifelong friends, Dan Brockman, you know, that known him since a little kid running around. But more than anything, just the city of Miamisburg and the people of Miamisburg really kind of made me who I was, even though it was only a 10-year stint. So always be thankful for everybody here and everybody I know. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Congratulations, Jeff. Tonight's next inductees are Peggy and Amo Critzer. Amo passed away in 2003. Peggy is joined by her family, and they are being inducted tonight as contributors. They will be presented by friend Mark Becker and received by their son, John Critzer. Come on up, guys. I want to say a few words about Mark once he gets up here, so come on up here, Mark. How many of you out there tonight have ever been in our records books to search for something? Raise your hand up high, please. Okay. So, I don't want to steal your thunder, but this guy right here is Mark Becker. And Miamisburg City Schools has the most outstanding records of any small college, high school, maybe big college, I don't know. It's amazing. So, and this guy is to thank for that. He does an awesome job, and we thank him so much. Let's give him a big round of applause.
I'd like to say I've been away from Miamisburg for about 18 years. I've been living in Nebraska and Tennessee, and the last time I was in front with a microphone in my face with this many people, the governor of Nebraska was standing beside me. The other side was the congressman from Nebraska, and the governor says, hey, Mark Becker's going to tell you what all happened today and explain what's going on. It was a bad day, I told him. We lost 150,000 customers on our electric grid. We lost a hydroelectric plant, got flooded out and just totally destroyed, and people passed away because of it. And our nuclear power plant was at risk at the same day in 2 hours. And all I can say is we've had a bad day. Well, I haven't had a bad day though at all, because First of all, I'm not necessarily my Aunt Peggy's friend. She's my aunt. One of the most wonderful people I've ever been around. And Amo was just, I got to give credit to Amo, and because he was the one who encouraged me to ask my wife to marry me some 33 years ago. So I really appreciate that. But again, you get down to it, you're not going to find Peggy and Amo's names in any of the record books. And that's okay. But you know, there's been 160 student athletes who have benefited from the work that they've done in honoring their middle son, Denny at Critzer. Denny was a student at Defiance College where he played football, but also lettered in baseball and soccer, and been recognized on the dean's list. In the summer of 1973, he was working in a manufacturing facility when he moved to the night shift to earn some additional money for school. After finishing his first night on the job, he headed home and apparently fell asleep and died in a traffic accident. That was in August of 1973. As John related to me, the family then went through the funeral process, but they found about $3,300 was donated to the family amongst the cards of sympathy. With that money, Peggy and Amos started the Dennis Hud Critzer Memorial Scholarship Fund that would be presented to student athletes at Miamisburg, presenting first 2 scholarships in the spring of 1974 that continues today. That's 50 years. The family wanted to give back to the student athletes in Denny's memory, so they continued to support the scholarship from their own personal finances. Eventually, in order to raise additional funds for the scholarships, they started the AMO Open. If you've ever been to the AMO Open, it was something else, okay? And it started out in 1980 with just 30 families and friends participating. In a few years, the participants number reached 256 golfers. Probably turned some few away? Yeah. Turned some few people away. It was always on Labor Day weekend, and the last tournament was held in 1994. Based on the funds raised from the golf tournament over the years and continuing memorial donations, the Dennis Hyde Critzer Memorial Fund continues to operate off the interest earned by the fund and will benefit future MHS graduates. The fund has also contributed to other MHS athletic support and community events over the years. Through various donations and the AMO Open Golf Tournament, as I pointed out, we've had 160 student athletes receive their scholarships. That's totaled over $104,000. Again, those nominations are made by the coaching staff, and the Critzer family has agreed with every set of candidates that have been selected. Let me talk a little bit about Denny. Denny was not a 5-star athlete, but he worked hard to become a starting tailback at 140 pounds for Coach Kevin Reardon's 1970 football team. He was known as a good student, an athlete who worked diligently to better himself, support his teammates, and was really modest in his accomplishments. In 1970, a local Miamisburg business started a Athlete of the Week honors, and Denny was one of the first ones as a running back. This part gets a little bit emotional for me. In 1989, Dayton Daily News sports writer Tom Archdeacon wrote about Peggy and Amo's efforts with the scholarship fund in one of his well-written columns. If you ever get a chance to read them. Denny had written a letter to Amo while in his first semester at Defiance with one passage that was important to the family to this day. Here's what Denny wrote. I feel lucky to have such good brothers like Tom and John. I feel even luckier that you and Mom were able to give us some of the better things in life. I can't begin to tell you how much I appreciate everything you have done for me, only that I want you both to be proud of me. It means so much to me. The final paragraph in Archdeacon's article, which was quite lengthy and very interesting, summed things up. Now, in that same spirit, Peggy and Amo Critzer are helping other children with some of the better things in life. Amo and Peg, again, is my aunt and uncles, very special people to me over the years, and I think on behalf of those athletes who have received the scholarships, I want to say thank you, and I think that's important. I want to mention, too, Peggy is the third member of her family to be inducted into the Athletic Hall of Fame. Her brother John, who once sold her for a quarter to a neighbor, played football for Miamisburg, and he was inducted a number of years ago. And a cousin, Kenny Amlin, and he's also in the Athletic Hall of Fame. So I just want to say thank you to Amo and Peg On behalf of the many graduates who have benefited from the Dennis Head Critzer Memorial Scholarship Fund, thank you very much. We love you.
Well, I'm John Critzer. I'm the oldest, and I always say better looking than my brother. Mom's always said that I was her favorite. On behalf of Mom and my brother Tom, myself, and the rest of the Critzer family, we wish to thank the committee for approving this induction of my parents. Also, congratulations to the rest of the inductees tonight. Jason took some of my thunder away when he started talking about Mark. I want to thank Mark for nominating Mom and Dad. Some of you, well, now you know that Mark compiled the Miamisburg High School athletic records and continues to update them annually. He's responsible for compiling one of the most complete and accurate record books in the state, if not the country. So, big round of applause. I'd like for members of Critzer family to stand. Tom, you don't have to. Go ahead. And my partner in crime, Sherry, you too. While we're eating dinner, anybody who is a friend or was a friend of Mom and Dad, stand up. I want to see this. Thank you. Also, I'd like to have a little shout out to the late John Cummings, former sports editor of the Miamisburg News. He was an invaluable resource to the Critzer family when we picked winners of the HUD scholarship before we passed it on to the coaches. He gave us a lot of insight and really helped us pick some quality student athletes. Also, I'd like to thank Tom Archdeacon of the Dayton Daily News. He wrote the article that Mark mentioned. It brought more attention to the AMO Open Golf outing, brought more attention to the HUD Memorial Scholarship, and it just did nothing but help us raise more money for this good cause. Yeah. All three of these people I just mentioned, Mark, John Cummings, Tom Archdeacon, were great sports writers. So they knew their stuff. We're grateful that we had them help us. Many of you know Mom, Peggy, and our dad, Dennis, also known as AMO. Mom graduated from Miamisburg High School in '47. Dad graduated as a West Carrollton Pie Rat in '46. But once the Critzer brothers, Dad, Tom, and I started playing athletics at Miamisburg, whether it's youth or whatever, Dad became a staunch supporter of Miamisburg. And I left something out here and I needed to get that. But once he got on the Viking bandwagon, he was on. And we owned JP Frog. We did silk screen, embroidery, trophies, and all that stuff. Dad got the bright idea to print these up and Viking support. He was all in, no doubt about it. He was big time Miamisburg Viking sports, period. He'd be proud of this honor. I only wish he could have been here. Also, thank you to the entire athletic department, especially Jason Osborne, Jason Shane, and Reva. Thank you, Reva. Enjoy your retirement. The three of you have been wonderful for our family, and we really appreciate it. In closing, thanks again for this prestigious honor of inducting my parents into the Miamisburg High School Athletic Hall of Fame. It's truly an honor, and I know Mom and Dad are very grateful. Thank you very much.
Congratulations and thank you very much to the Critzer family for all your support throughout the years. We very much appreciate it. And I think I had one of those jock shirts. I didn't even see it, I guess, because I knew I was back there. I couldn't see it. Tonight's final inductee is Molly Skapik, class of 2014. She is being inducted tonight as a participant in golf and basketball. Molly will be presented by her high school golf coach, Ted Glado. Come on up, guys.
Thanks, Jason. First of all, I want to say congratulations to all the inductees tonight. I taught here at Miamisburg for 31 years, and it's amazing how many athletes you see go year in and year out. And for those outstanding athletes to rise to the top and be inducted to a Hall of Fame is amazing. Secondly, when I spoke to Jason about introducing Molly, he said, "You got 5 minutes." And I'm thinking, how am I going to fit 14 years of accomplishment into 5 minutes? I'll do my best. It is my distinct honor to introduce Molly Skapik, an outstanding example of athletic excellence, determination, and commitment. Molly's achievements in the sport of golf and also in basketball during her time at Miamisburg and beyond make her a truly deserving inductee into Miamisburg High School Athletic Hall of Fame. As a 4-year varsity letter winner, Molly left a lasting mark on Miamisburg golf program. Her accomplishments include numerous school records that still stand as a testament to her exceptional skill. She has been mentioned over 100 times in the record book. And Mark, again, thank you for all you do. Some of those include the lowest 9-hole score, the lowest season average, the lowest career average, the lowest 18-hole score. She has also the lowest sectional tournament score, the lowest state 18-hole score, and the lowest state 36-hole score. She was also named Miamisburg Player of the Year for all 4 years, earned first team all G-Walk honors each of her years that she played. She was a G-Walk South Player of the Year for 3 years and a 2-time All G-Walk Player of the Year as a junior and a senior. On some of the biggest stages, Molly consistently rose to the occasion. She qualified for the Ohio State High School Athletic Association State Tournament all 4 years of high school. Something I think both and I talked, there's been no golfer, boy or girl, and I probably might stand corrected, but no one has ever been to the state all 4 years. Correct.
You're correct.
Correct. She had an impressive 9th place finish and a second-team All-State honors her junior year, and a standout 4th place finish her senior year, earning her first-team All-State honors. Her impressive performances laid the foundation for her continued success at the collegiate and professional levels. Molly's journey after high school was equally remarkable. She competed on a scholarship at the University of Louisville, where she demonstrated leadership and excellence all 4 years, achieving multiple top finishes throughout her freshman, sophomore, and junior years. As a senior, she competed in all 13 events, showcasing remarkable consistencies and skill throughout the season. Highlights of her performance include 4 top 10 finishes. She posted a personal milestone with a 6 under par 66, the 3rd best score in the school's program, and she tied for 38th at the National NCAA Championship. Off the course, her dedication to academics were equally impressive. That earned her recognition as a WGCA All-American Scholar. After college, Molly broke into the professional circuit, playing in events like the Marathon Classic and earning numerous top 10 and top 25 finishes. She also has 1 win under her belt. She also won the 2017 Kentucky Women's Open and a 2nd place finish at the 2024 Ohio Women's Open. Molly exemplified the true spirit of a student athlete through her outstanding sportsmanship and unwavering commitment to her team. Golf is typically an individual sport, but in high school and college, you play as a team, as well as individual recognition. She was always willing to lend a helping hand. Molly always went above and beyond to support her teammates, whether it's offering words of encouragement, sharing tips to improve the performance, or stepping in when someone just needed assistance. Her actions were guided by a strong sense of honesty and integrity, making her a role model both on and off the course. Today, Molly works at the family business when she is not traveling for the Epson and the Hanukkah Women's Professional Tours. She also enjoys time with her family, especially her niece and her nephew. Beyond the accolades, Molly's career is a testament to hard work, resilience, and a passion for the game of golf. From her high school records to her professional successes, Molly has represented Miamisburg with pride and distinction. It is a great pride that we welcome Molly into this Miamisburg High School Athletic Hall of Fame. Please join me in congratulating this extraordinary athlete and celebrating her tremendous achievements.
Clearly, I'm shorter than everybody, but hi, everyone. It's a true honor to be inducted in the Miamisburg Athletic Hall of Fame. This is a special moment to be able to reflect on my time here from 2010 to 2014. I would like to congratulate my fellow 2014 classmates, Connor and Jeremy, as well as all the other inductees tonight. My golf career began as a freshman, and over the course of my 4 years, I was fortunate enough to experience growth, success, and friendship. During my time as an athlete at Miamisburg, I had the opportunity to represent the Vikings at the state tournament all 4 years. These achievements did not come easily. They were the result of countless hours of practice, dedication, and a strong commitment to always improving, which was encouraged by my coaches, teachers, team, family, and friends. These experiences at Miamisburg led me to the University of Louisville, where I continued my golf career from 2014 to 2018 on a full-ride scholarship. Collegiate golf was a significant step up. My time as a Cardinal was instrumental in my development, teaching me to compete at a higher level, navigate extensive travel, and balance the demands of a Division I athletics with rigorous academics. Without my time at Miamisburg, I would not have been as successful at Louisville. None of this would have been possible without an incredible support system. To my family, Mom, Dad, Emily, Aunt, Uncle, thank you for your constant support. You have always been my cheerleaders through every practice, every tournament, every high, and every low. You instilled in me the work ethic and sportsmanship that have guided me. However, I want to give a special shout out to my dad, Casey. My success would not have been possible without your help. All those early mornings and late nights at the range, trying to get my swing in the best spot possible, are some of my favorite moments. And you willingly gave up your weekends to take me to tournaments all across the country because you knew I had such a passion for the game. To my bird coach, Ted Glado, thank you for your guidance and belief in my potential. You pushed me to be a better golfer, especially when you challenged us to play closest to the pin at the end of practice so that we could win a candy bar. You should have known that with my competitiveness, I was always going to win those Kit Kats. You also taught me valuable life lessons about teamwork and resiliency. And I would also like to thank Bogey for always coming to my local events and for sending words of encouragement regardless of how my round went. Also, thanks for being the best turkey shootout partner at Pipestone. We're going for the three-peat this year to defend unless they kick us out. To my teammates, both at Miamisburg and Louisville, thank you for unforgettable memories and friendships that will last a lifetime. The shared experiences, the laughter, and the unwavering support made my journey so much more rewarding. My experience at Miamisburg provided a strong foundation for success in college and beyond. I had the privilege of working with some amazing teachers and mentors who helped me push my boundaries of what I thought I could achieve in and out of the classroom. My experiences at MHS taught me determination and perseverance. I'm proud to have been a part of Miamisburg that value both athletic excellence and academic achievement. Being inducted in the Athletic Hall of Fame is not just about personal accomplishments. It is a recognition of the incredible team, community, and family that supported me along the way. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you who shaped me into the person I am today. And thank you to the Hall of Fame committee for this incredible honor. And I'm proud to be a Miamisburg Viking, and I will cherish this forever. Thank you.
What an outstanding class. Congratulations to all of you guys. Outstanding class.